destiny to fulfill. Now I have to be a king. Just as every man and every woman is a star, I have to be a king. I know that there's a lot that I'll have to endure, but it's time to become a king. To be a king, one first must be a man. To be a king, one must understand that the universe is energy that can be changed by human belief. To be a king, one first must be a man. To be a king, one must understand that the universe. All right.
And I never even know about it.
Really? 6-inch stuff, Hayden. Hook up for lunch. So sorry. Could you say what this was again?
I'll take it out for you. Just tell me which one you want.
So you're just riding around handing out free 6 inches. That is awesome. Oh, thank you. Well, do you have crab and seafood in there? What have you got? I'll take a ham, please. Thank you. All right. Yeah, you guys have a great summer. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we caught a fish. You see him? Okay. Little fish in the lake with my son here today. Okay, Hayden, do you want the honor of taking it off the hook, or shall I? You will? Okay. Okay, grab it on over top of the hook. Okay.
Are we going to put it back in?
Yes, we're gonna release this fish. It's way too small. I know. Okay, it ate the hook, and the hook is sticking out the side of its mouth. I saw that. And what you gotta do is you gotta take the hook back out of its mouth and then release the fish. And here, okay. You know what? Alright, so we caught this fish, and we managed to keep it alive all the way back to the dock, and then we put it in this, and it's still alive. Hayden wants to keep it, but Mom said no, so we're gonna release it back into the lake over here. I don't know. There's absolutely no way I could keep it alive in my van, man. I'd like to, but I couldn't.
Are you recording?
Yep, I'm recording.
Drop that down there. Go.
Be careful. No, not. Just stop. Put it down right now. Your shoes are gonna get soaking wet. Alright, there he goes. And he's like in the bottom now. He's like, oh, am I allowed? Oh, am I going somewhere? Is there no hook? There's no hook. I'm free. He's going to recuperate now. He's actually doing the side to side and making sure.
You look like you're really enjoying that.
Yes.
I just had to record it because I was like, this is my son really, really enjoying his root beer float. And it's like, you can see contentment in his face when he's sucking it on the straw. It's like,
Hey there. This is a video diary to my son. I've decided that since there is so much time and space separating us, with so much evil trying to get in my way, in our way, that I'm going to record some messages that maybe, hopefully later, he will hear for himself and understand that the whole time we've been apart, ever since he was a child, little boy, I've missed him. And I think of him every day. Now, what got this started is the fact is it was Father's Day yesterday and I didn't hear from my son yet again. And it hurt. And it made me think of all the reasons why I'm not even allowed to talk to my own son on Father's Day, or his birthday, or my birthday, or Christmas, or anything. The truth is that I tried, and I've tried, and I've tried for years in courts to be there for you, Hayden, and it seems like the forces of darkness in this world just keep us apart. Just keep keeping us apart, if that makes any sense. Anyways, fuck the English language. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about. Hopefully you'll have a head on your shoulders by the time you see this, in terms of adulthood, or maybe, maybe we'll have had some time together. But the fact is that I'm going to start telling you all the things that I've wanted to teach you in these videos, and hopefully someday you'll see them and understand. So, lesson number 1 in Dad's great book of universal awareness is: the road to happiness is not paved with money, or women, or lust, or drugs, or anything like that. The road to happiness is by following your own true nature, regardless of what any obstacles get in your way. That is rule number 1. The rule to internal happiness. Not happiness because you got what you want, because you had the money to pay for it. Not happiness because you got what you wanted in bed with this really hot woman. Not that happiness. I call it a fading happiness. I call them instant gratifications. And yes, they're good, but we can live without them, as I've proven to myself, as the universe has forced me to do. Now, the fact is that we can't live without some kind of internal integrity and happiness, and we get that by following our true nature, what we know is good and right for us and for others around us. That is the road to true internal happiness. Now, rule number 2 in Dad's great book of universal awareness. We are the creators of our own reality. This is a truth that is above all in all manners of history, and all manners of religion, and all manners of all occult going-ons, such as the world elitist organizations, the Illuminati, the Masons, the Freemasons, all that other conspiracy crap. These people that rule the world actually know this secret, and they don't want the public to know that they're leading them on to create a false reality, a reality that's actually contrary to humanity now, as we can see, and it's contrary to life in general. We are destroying our entire planet now because we are not following our inner selves and our inner humanity and what we truly know is right and wrong, we are following society's standards and status quos, and this is killing us. This is killing our humanity inside each and every one of us as we fall prey to the status quo. This is destroying the planet with what we're doing within the status quo. That is what makes me such a threat to society. That's why, really, the true reason why you and I aren't together as father and son right now is because they don't want me teaching this to anybody. Not my own son. Not anybody. And they try their best to shut me up because they don't want me giving everybody the ability to create their own reality. And the way we do that is simply by believing in ourselves and taking steps towards what we believe we can achieve and what we believe should be our reality. And as we believe and as we take action in our beliefs and as we find out how to form our own realities around us, because that proof is there. That proof is there. Just look at anywhere in the world. Human beings have overgrown nature and taken all of nature from all around the world now to create our own version of reality that is completely contrary to nature. You cannot say that we do not create our own reality because human beings prove it every single day. We exist outside of a natural climate. Every day we exist in some northern ice zone where we should freeze to death. We prove we are creators of our own reality. Every time we build a city in place of nature, we recreate reality around us to suit us. We are creators of our own reality. And right now, only the grand masters want that knowledge. They don't want the public to know. They don't want my son to know that he can create his own reality, that he doesn't have to adhere to the status quo, that he can simply say, no, I replace your reality, I reject your reality, and replace it with my own. So that there is the root of rule number 2 in Dad's great universal book of awareness. We are creators of our own reality. And yes, I did create this reality, and unfortunately, son, I'm sorry that you have to pay for it, because I tried my damnedest not to include you in the wrath of those who would stop me, but they did. They went after you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not there for you, and I'm sorry every day of my life, but I don't regret my decision, because what I'm doing hopefully will change your future and your children's future for the better. So that we all have the chance to create our own human reality, so that we all have the chance to walk amongst at least our own star system, if not other star systems soon, so that we all have the chance to grow and prosper within a beautiful reality that, quite honestly, we could be sharing our resources in. We don't need money. We could be going into space in large numbers and be relieving the populace of the planet and be relieving the planet of our stresses. We could be taking our industries to Mars, and within 200 to 250 years, with our current industries on Earth, if they were on Mars, we'd be terraforming that planet into a second jewel in the sky and be creating more life and be creating more places for us to live all along the way. And that could be our future if only one generation said, no more. We refuse to create this destructive reality, and we choose to create a reality where life exists in other places, where we take our life, our jewel in space, and remake it in other parts of the solar system and other parts of the galaxy eventually. Now, this is the future that we are being held back from right now. I truly believe this, because we have the technology, we have the know-how, and it's all being held back. And it's all being used against people like me who want us to bust out of this enslaved reality, enslaved to these destructive psychopaths that seem to want to hoard all the power and control for themselves when it's not theirs to hoard in the first place. I am doing this so that the world can change for the better. Because I'm sick of living in a place where I've got to take the status quo that I know is a complete lie, and I know is destroying my heart and soul and those around me, and I know is destroying the planet that I live on, so that in 7 generations there won't be a planet left. I'm looking at that right now, and we all know, anybody in the scientific community who sees the destruction going on planet Earth right now can tell you. All the biologists during the Kyoto Accord told the entire UN, if we don't stop this now and do some severe changes to the way we manufacture products and stuff like that, to even what plastic is composed of, if that we're dead in 7 generations. They said this, and such minor changes were made during the Kyoto Accord, it wasn't funny. The fact is that plastics need to be made of natural cellulose fibers that can decompose into the environment. And until that happens, until all plastics on Earth are made with some kind of hemp fiber or tree fiber or corn fiber or something like that, some kind of cellulose fiber that can decompose naturally, we're fucked. Because plastics don't decompose fully. They just break down and break down and break down until planet Earth looks like Mars, because all the microbes ate plastic instead of other microbes, and the food chain ceased to exist on planet Earth. And that is where we're going to be in 7 generations if we don't at least clean up our plastics right now. And that's just one issue. Another issue is we have been held back for a century from space now. And we are creators of our own reality. Why are we staying on planet Earth when we could be blossoming into our own star system? When we could be starting such a beautiful birth of life in through our solar system, yet we're being held back by it. Why? Because controlling bastards are afraid of letting some people act like human beings instead of cattle and livestock. It has to end. They've ruled this planet for 6,500 years. Take a look at your history. For 6,500 years, there have been walls around cities because people would use violence to control other people. It has to end sometime. And all it takes is one entire generation across the world to say, no more violence. We choose to create a different reality. And then teach their children that new, loving reality, where we share our resources, where we don't try to intentionally destroy our planets by having billions of vehicles spew out all of this noxious fumes, where we don't have billions of pounds of noxious chemicals going into our atmosphere from chemical factories, where we don't have HARP technologies all across the world used by all the nations trying to alter everybody's fucking weather contrary to it and having weather wars. We need to evolve. We need to grow beyond this. And if you were in my care, son, I would be teaching you how to do this. You would be a greater threat than even I by the time you became an adult to the status quo of society. But it seems like it's my burden to bear, and to bear it alone, and I'm sorry I can't be there for you while I do this. But somebody has to. Somebody has to wake up the world. And it looks like it's my turn. So I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. I love you very much, and I hope that what I do today and tomorrow and yesterday affects your future and your adult life for the best. So mote it be.